Tether. But I don't even know, because I do everything random. I do everything off the top of my head. Like, I think about things before I shoot them or whatever. And I'm trying to only do a video per day, even though I've done more. And I just started shooting videos in October, like literally October 1st, at least on a regular basis. But, oh my fucking God. My nose itches every time I start to shoot a video, and I guess it's my nerves. And I don't know why, because my nerves really ain't shot. Like, I'm really not upset about anything or nothing. But, yeah, like, the past 2 days, like, I was talking mainly about depression and stuff, and apparently, like, that seems to be a very hot topic, and everything, because that's the, videos that, like, people are viewing or whatever and stuff. And it's like yesterday I was like really depressed, and the day before like really bad, and I was like, okay, if this don't happen, if that don't happen, I'm gonna kill myself, and stuff like that was going through my head. And I didn't do it, obviously. I'm here, I'm alive. And depression just really sucks, because it's like you have these internal thoughts, this negativity that's just like constantly circling in your head. And I mentioned in my last video that maybe people might actually want to try eating oatmeal for breakfast, like if they suffer from depression. Like, even if you only want to eat it like 2 or 3 times a week, because I've kind of played on and off with seeing if it does affect your mood and stuff. And I don't know, like, I think it kind of does, and it kind of makes me sad, because, like, I don't want to eat oatmeal for breakfast for the rest of my life. I don't want to eat oatmeal every single day for the rest of my life, but if I have to be a happier, more positive person, then hey, what the fuck ever, I guess. It is what it is. And that's the thing, too, is, like, kind of what depression stems from. I mean, it can stem from any traumatic or shitty experiences. It can stem from a bad life. It can stem from even being probably pampered too much, probably, like, if you're somebody that's really well off and you had everything done for you and you didn't have to do anything for yourself, and then you're sitting there maybe and you're like, why am I even alive if I don't have to do anything, and it's like trying to find purpose and stuff like that. And, like, so the past 2 mornings I've ate oatmeal for breakfast, and today I haven't had the thought of, oh shit, I'm just going to kill myself. Like, and granted, it's still early. It's only 1:30, but I've been up since like 11. So yeah, it's still early in the day and everything. And even though I'm having negative thoughts, they're not spiraling, I guess you'd say, so bad, or it don't even spiral into it. It's almost like you get in this negative mindset, and like I said in my previous video, it's like a checklist. You're like, okay, if this don't happen and that don't happen and that don't happen, okay, I'm gonna kill myself, because it's the last straw. I need something good to happen. I need something good to come in my life. I need something to work out. I need something to make sense to me. And it's like this control type thing, I guess, or whatever. But so anyways, I woke up today, got dressed, walked my dogs. I have 2 dogs. I'm supposed to have 3, but my third one, he's been missing since September. And I seen a stray cat and fed it, or tried to feed it. I don't know, it wouldn't come to eat. And I've been checking ever since then, and it still hasn't came and ate. And I don't know. But and then I have 2 cats myself, and so I fed them a little snack. And I've just got up and ate my breakfast and kind of piddled around, listened to some music. I just got done brushing my teeth a few minutes ago. And even something as simple as that, like, I don't brush my teeth every fucking day. I wish to God I did. I wish to God I was in the routine of brushing my teeth every time like I used to, like when I was younger. But then I got really bad OCD around that time too. And so it's like, I don't want to be OCD again, because I seen the positive of it, but I seen the negative of it too. Because if something was out of place, I would like freak the hell out. And even like now I have a daughter and she's 12. And so I had OCD really bad when she was little. And so I noticed she started picking up some of my habits. Like, she couldn't stand her hands being sticky. She couldn't stand being dirty. Like, she had to have her bath. She had to have her lotion. She had to wash her hands before and after she ate anything. Like, and I was like, oh my God, and I was like, okay, I need to calm the fuck down and bring it back. But like, stuff out of place, like, and then because I've taken child development classes, that was never really an issue. She had certain boxes. I remember I took the Love's diaper boxes, and I had 4 of them. And one had plastic toys that didn't run off of batteries. The other had plastic toys that did run off batteries. The other had stuffed animals that ran off batteries, and then just stuffed animals that were just, they didn't run off of anything, and it was just regular stuffed animals. And so I would let her destroy the den with her toys all day long. And then every night I would go around and I'd pick them up and put them in the 4 boxes. And by the time she was a year and a half old, hell, she was putting them in the boxes herself, and she knew what box they went in. Like, I mean, the first 3 nights probably she asked me, she's like, is this right, Mommy? Is this go here? And I'm like, yeah. And, like, I never had an issue with, like, her moving stuff out of place, because, like, she seen me do that, and so, like, she was really good about being organized and stuff and everything. And then even at that, if she did, leave something off, I would just, I would get up and I would fix it myself. I was in the mentality, if, what is it? Shit. Don't ask some, fuck, I forget how it's worded. Why is my brain going blank right now? God, I'm so mad. Like, not mad, but still just a little irritated. Shit, I cannot think of the way to word it. Oh, if you want something done right, do it yourself. There we go. That's the phrase. If you want something done right, you do it yourself. And so I was in that mentality, and so when she would, put something wrong or whatever, I would just hop up and fix it, and I'd say, no, it don't go like that, and I'd just fix it. And then she'd just look at me, and that'd be the end of it. I never was aggressive with her. I never screamed at her. I know there's been TV series and all kinds of stuff about people with OCD that they just freak the fuck out and they scream at people and stuff like that. I never got to the point that I screamed at anybody about anything. Instead, though, it's like I was screaming at myself on the inside, and I was like, how the fuck did they not see that that's not setting right, or this is not right, or that is not correct? How the fuck do they not see that? And so, like, it was really bad, it was like, how the fuck, and like, so I was hard on myself. And even though I was really hard on myself, like, internally, I was actually more externally happy than I am right now. And so it's just trying to find balance and everything. But back to, like, depression and everything, like, so today I've not had, like, any depressed thoughts. I've had, like, nothing dealing with suicide pop up in my head or anything like that, but it's just like negativity a little bit. And it's like, as I was brushing my teeth, I listened to these songs that I got saved on here that's just like positive songs that I listen to that make me feel better. The first one is Shine Down, Get Up, which I mentioned in my other video. Like, it's just a really good song, I think. But, anyways, like, so I'm sitting here, and it's like I come to the epiphany, the idea, and that's the thing, too, is like I've always been very, just having ideas kind of flow, through my mind, my whole damn life, like as far back as I can remember. Like, I remember being 4 years old and looking and being like, does my dad realize that he could actually fix that if he would do it this way, and that it would not take as much effort, and he would be done in like 5 minutes versus him trying for 25 minutes? Like, I used to be able to, I don't know, step back and like see that even as a child, but I couldn't tell him because, oh God, like, he was just a very controlling and dominant male figure and everything, and still tries to be, and Jesus Christ. But, shut up, dogs. Please. So, anyways, dang on, fuck. I must have some form of ADD or ADHD. I just heard somebody outside of the neighbor's voice, and it's like my mind just went, whew, you know, like, what the fuck was I talking about, or what was I getting at? Shit. Talking about depression, talking about not feeling depressed today. I mentioned the music. I brushed my teeth while listening to the music. And then, about ideas and thoughts that pop into my head and stuff. So, and they're like really good, like, it's like I'm one of those people that's really good at kind of giving people other advice, but I'm not good at giving it to myself. And so, earlier while I was sitting here eating breakfast and kind of in the middle of putting my breakfast dishes up and brushing my teeth and stuff, I was like, I really need to get up and force my ass to do everything that I don't want to fucking do. Everything that I'm scared to do. Everything I don't feel like doing. Everything I really, really just don't want to do. Like, I don't want to clean the house. I don't want to do my laundry today. I don't want to do dishes. And this was even before I brushed my teeth. And I was like, and I don't want to brush my teeth. Like, and I was like, no, I've got to force myself to do things that I don't want to do, because in return, I'm going to get things out of it that I want out of it. And if it's not necessarily the things that, like, I desire, then eventually the things that I desire are going to come into fruition, you know? And I'm just like, damn it, you know? And I'm thinking about balance in life. And that's another thing, too. Like, I don't know a lot of people who honor the idea of the ripple effect, I guess is the best way to word it, in their life. I try to think of everything that I do, everything that I say, every way that I come across, whether it's hateful, whether it's this, and this is the reason I get called, oh, you're a people pleaser, and you're trying to please people, and this and that, and everything else. The ripple effect. Every little trace of everything that you do, every word that comes out of your mouth, it just ripples, and it gets larger and bigger. And I guess that's the reason I can even, or my mind is wired, because I wired it that way myself a little bit, and believing in the ripple effect, that I'm like, hey, I said this today, and then so-and-so said the same thing, 3 days later, and I was like, holy shit, you said the same exact shit that I just said, and that's like, it's not like if it happens on a regular basis that I'm actually even going to become paranoid, because that's like, me and two of my best friends that I had when I was younger, shit, like, we finished each other's sentences. Like, we were on the same fucking wavelength, like, or what the fuck ever. And it was creepy, but not like creepy, and it didn't make me like paranoid. And that's even like my kid, I swear to God, my child. Oh my God. Over her lifetime, if I have tried to buy her a toy in secret, like just regular day, just, she hadn't had anything in a while, and I got $20 extra, and so I'm going to get her that Monster High doll that she's been looking at for 6 months or a year that she really wants, and my niece got it as soon as it come out, and my niece is younger, and my kid don't understand why she can't have it, and you know what? I'm going to sneak and go and buy it today. We literally would be in the parking lot, like, fixing to get out to go into the damn store, or I would just have set her in the buggy and be pushing her around. She'd be like, Mama. And I'd be like, what? And she'd be like, you gonna get me that doll today, aren't you? And I was like, why? Why can't you just let me surprise you? And I even asked her one time, I was like, do I say something in my sleep? And she's like, no. She's like, I feel it. She's like, I feel it. She said, she said, I feel you get happy. And I'm like, okay, you feel me get happy. I'm like, but how does that explain that you know exactly what toy I'm going to buy you? I said, because there's like 5 Monster High dolls that you wanted, and I can only afford one. How did you know I was going to get that one? She's like, I don't know. I just knew. And so stuff like that, like, that's just, I don't know. That's just weird, I guess, and everything. But, fuck. Can't figure out how I want to hold this camera, like. And that's another thing, too. The lighting in here sucks. That. Because she's got, the landlord has it with the, oh, shit, fuck, far, what is wrong with me? Oh, my God. Fluorescent lights. Like the long ones that you see in school, because this has been a pool hall and all kinds of places before it was turned into apartments. And the one in the living room, I showed her, I remember one time, probably about 8 months ago, I was like, I think this is out, I think it needs fixing. And she's like, oh, I'll look at it. She looked at it or whatever, and that was the end of it. Like, we took a bulb that we knew was working, put in it, and it wouldn't work on one side. So half my living room's lit, the other half's not. And then in my daughter's bedroom, I think it's probably where they shook it shook the foundation. They fixed, shit. Not banisters. Jesus Christ. I swear. Oh my God. Anyways, they fixed some stuff outside that could have shook the foundation, and now my kid's light in her room, it don't work. And it tries to, but it don't. It's like it's got a short in it. And I told her about that, like, whenever they did the water heater, but she just didn't ever say nothing. And then we kind of had a falling out around that time, I guess you'd say, because I just told her I was, like, done. Like, I'm just done with the way I've been treated. And so, hadn't heard from her anymore. Kind of don't even care if I do. Like, and then that's another thing, too. Like, I shouldn't even say that. I ain't going to say that. I'll say it after the fact. I ain't going to say it before the fact. But, anyways, back to me, my depression, dealing with that and everything. Jesus Christ, I get so sidetracked. But, that's one good thing about, like, if I do have ADHD is like, for as far as moving and getting stuff done, that's one thing, like, whenever I was OCD, like, I was just constantly going. It was like, oh, put this in the microwave, and while that's in the microwave, put this in the oven, and that way it'll be ready on time, and this takes 5 minutes to cook, and that takes 20 minutes to cook, and this takes that, and I can get the laundry done, and I can fold the laundry while this is going on, and I can, and I mean, I was like, I don't know, like, it was crazy. It was like my mind was just constantly on a rhythm, and I could keep up with it and everything, and I don't know. And that's another thing too, I hate to say it, like, sometimes I'm like, maybe that's why I was like that for that little bit, but I don't know. I never did the drugs, but I dated somebody that did the drugs, and they did meth. And so, but I've rarely seen them, is the kicker. But even at that, they say that, like, if somebody does meth, like, it comes out in their sweat and shit or whatever, and that it can, like, transfer from them to you, or at least that's what I've heard, read over the years, or what the fuck ever. So maybe I had a little bit of, I don't know, something in my system. I don't even fucking know. But like I said, I rarely seen him. Like, I'd see him like twice a month for like a year, I guess you'd say. But I don't know. I don't even know. All I know is I get up every day and I try, and that's all you can do whenever you're depressed. You just get up every day and you try. And you try not to be hard on yourself, and you've got to learn to stop being so damn judgmental and hard on yourself. You've got to learn to take the good with the bad. You've got to learn to try to find balance, and that's another thing too, is like balance. Like I was talking earlier or whatever, I was like, yeah, I just need to force myself to do things that I don't want to do. That way one day I can do the things that I want to do. That's kind of the biggest kicker downfall of my depression setting in for me, is I done lived that life. I lived that life back then. I lived that life of, I don't want to go to school, but I'm going to force like, literally, before I got pregnant with my daughter, like, and probably, it was probably right before I got pregnant with my daughter. Like, I was like, I really love my boyfriend. Am I really going to tough it out with him? Yes, I am. It's like I made a conscious decision, and I was like, and apparently a lot more is going to fall on my shoulder for as far as responsibilities than I wish. Apparently he's not going to be this responsible person that he's told me that he's going to be, because we've been together a year and he's not done a damn thing that he says, or he's not shown that he's going to be this way. He says he's going to be this way, but he has not shown and put in the effort. And I want the dream. I want it to come true. I want to marry him. I want to have kids with him. I want him to get clean, And at that time, like, I just thought he'd smoked weed, And I was like, well, actually, yeah, because I didn't find out, like, that was, like, the week before I became pregnant, or whatever, like, or found out I was pregnant, not became pregnant. But I was just like, okay, so I've got to focus myself in school, because I was still in school, in high school. And I was like, I've got to refocus myself in school. I've got to raise my grades back up. I've got to engage more with the teachers. That way I understand what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. And I was like, and I've got to do this. And I made a checklist in my head is the best way to put it. And I was like, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. So that way I can have this that I want. So everything's going good. Then I find out that I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, add a little bit more to the checklist. Okay, I got this. I can do this. I can do this. I've got this. And in all honesty, all it took was one harassing ass teacher to just devastate the shit out of my confidence, I guess you'd say. And it wasn't even a confidence. It was just like to just blow the damn checklist up, and just make me kind of fuck it. Fuck everything. Fuck it. Fuck it. Like, literally. And what it was is, she was actually my first period teacher, and she would mock me and make fun of me, and she thought I was stupid is the best way that I can think to word it. And she was an older woman, and one or two times we had a decent conversation, like she kind of got that I was actually trying, and like she kind of felt a little sorry for me, and I thought, don't feel sorry for me, instead find a way to teach me so I get it. Because I'm not fucking getting it. I don't understand. And it was like algebra, I think, or something. Or maybe, it was else. Now, I know this is going to sound really broad, but it was a regular, like, academic class. It was like else. I don't know. Something dealing with social studies, science, or math, or something. I don't know. It was not literature. Or I'm almost certain it wasn't literature. I would honestly have to look it up. I want to say it was a citizenship class, but I don't think it was, but I don't know. I can't remember. But anyways, so here I am. I just found out I'm pregnant, right? And then my kid's dad gets locked up. So that put a huge damper on things too. So I'm not telling nobody at school about my situation, right? Like, nobody knows. People just know I'm pregnant. That's it. They don't know that he's got locked up. They don't know that I'm going through shit by myself. And they don't know my home life. And I'm not one to go and parade around and talk about it. And then, even when people found out, like teachers found out I was pregnant, they pulled me aside and they were like, oh God, oh, and like, almost like, I'll help you get rid of it type mentality. And I was just like, okay, I didn't tell you, because most of them I didn't, And I was like, and you found out hearsay, and then you're watching my belly grow, and then you're pulling me aside and being like, is it true? Like, it's so devastating. And I'm just like, bitch, can we go back in time to when you got pregnant with your first kid and be like, oh my God, is it true? I'm so sorry for you. Like, that's not any type of fucking reaction that you want when you actually love your child and you actually want your child. I love my child. I still love my child to this day. I love my child until the end of the fucking world. I love my child past then. And you want to come at me and be like, I should feel bad or sad or some shit? Like, and then the other half of you, and then that's another thing too. Like, I hated the assumptions. Oh my God, the assumptions. I ain't even gonna label this in about depression because I'm gonna end up going off about this, or I might put depression and other things. So I had teachers coming up to me, like, ashamed for me. And I had teachers coming up to me acting like they would help me, in any way that they could to get rid of it. To get rid of the baby, whether through abortion or adoption. And I even had teachers come up to me and be like, do you want me to be with you? And I know if she sees this, she's going to know it's her. And it's nothing against you. I actually liked you quite a bit as a teacher, even though you got on to me one time for the stupidest shit, and I didn't even do it wrong, and you said I was playing on my phone when I wasn't, and my phone literally just fell out of my fucking pocket. I had on a hoodie, it had one of those big front pockets, and when I leaned over to pick up a pencil for the girl that you had me babysitting, if you will, and I don't even mean any offense in that. I understand that she's the one that was on the four-wheeler and that had the wreck, and it caused her a lot of brain damage, and I actually became friends with her. I thought the world of her. I thought she was a sweet girl and stuff. I mean, we weren't friends, but like in school, you had me taking care of her and watching her and stuff and making sure she didn't wander off, and I would try to keep her from saying inappropriate things that she shouldn't be saying and stuff like that. I bent over to pick up her damn pencil, and my cell phone fell out of my fucking pocket, and you come up and you literally looked like a demon from hell at me and went off on me and was like, put that phone up, and if you don't, and everything. And I even tried to tell you. I said it fell out of my pocket, and you said, no, it didn't. You was playing on it and wasn't paying attention to me. And I literally died on the inside when that happened. And that's another thing that depression does, is it's not being able to let out emotions when you want to. And it's like, I literally wanted to scream at you. I literally wanted to stand up and take the fucking chair I was sitting in and just smack you up the goddamn head with it. I'm not gonna fucking lie. And at the same time, I also wanted to break down and cry and be like, I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. Because I was. But you wouldn't believe me because you were in your own world. And so, I mean, it's just shit like that makes you feel depressed, is you can't get through to other people. But anyways, so this same teacher or whatever pulls me aside when I'm done like 4-5 months pregnant. I found out I was pregnant within the first month. I told my parents within the first month. Like, wasn't nothing to me. Now, granted, I went and spent the night at a cousin's house, called them and told them on the phone, because I wasn't about to have a damn shotgun held at my fucking head again. Not when I'm pregnant, If I die, my cousin's gonna know that, I tried to give you time to cool off before I came back home. And if you shot me, there ain't gonna be no, oh, we don't know who did it, or somebody broke in and did it. No, her parents did it because she told them she's pregnant, like. And so, anyways, I done told my parents, and this teacher comes up to me when I'm like 4 or 5 months pregnant. And this is right before, or no, it's not right before, that's right. This is like right before I think the semester changed, or sometime around then, or fuck, I can't remember in all honesty. But, or I was getting used to the change and starting to finally remember the new schedule. But she found out I was pregnant because this girl that I didn't even confide in, like me and this girl, we've known each other since kindergarten, on and off. I barely talked to her. I didn't like her. She was kind of a bully in elementary school. I remember her hurting me several times. And then I remember trying to take up for her and be like, oh, well, she just must go through some shit at home to be mean like that. And here I am going through shit at home. I ain't gotta be a fucking prick. But anyway, so we grow up and she's become somewhat nicer or something, right? So we're civil with each other is the best way to word it. And so I'm sitting there one day talking to somebody that I'm actually closer to. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta find a crib, and I gotta find this and that. And this girl's like, what? You gotta find a crib? Why do you have to find a crib? And I was talking about all the baby supplies that I was going to end up having to get, and find a way to pay for and stuff. And, just random talking, in my opinion, a typical conversation for somebody that's expecting a child. And she sticks her nosy little nose up in my business and she's like, what do you mean? You need a crib. Why do you need a crib? And I was like, 'cause I'm pregnant. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, and she's like, you are? And I'm like, yeah. And I even kind of stood up, like, I didn't stand completely up, but I kind of stood up and I was like, you see my belly? I was like, you remember how skinny I was just a few months ago? I'm like, this is not just fat. I'm not just sat and ate candy bars. I was like, there's a baby in here, and she's like, oh my God. And she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm talking about, I think I even kind of smarted off like this. I was like, I'm talking about trying to find a crib. So therefore, I would assume that you would know that that means that I'm going to keep the baby. And she's like, oh. And she literally went and told this teacher I was pregnant. So this teacher pulls me aside like the next day, I think. Because I think it like shocked her so much or something, and she was so busy with her teacherly duties or whatever. I think it was the next day. And she even pulled me out of another class, I remember. Holy shit, do I remember. Okay, that's right, because my choir class is next door. And she come and pulled me out of choir class. And, like, when she pulled me out, I was like, oh, shit, what did I do? Fuck, what did I do? And then I was like, well, maybe she just wants me to watch so-and-so again. And I was like, but man, I was really enjoying singing. Why did you pull me out of choir class? Like, but comes find out, like, choir class didn't go normal that day anyway. And so I'm standing there and she's like, hey, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, here, I want to give you something. As a matter of fact, I still even have it to this day. It is in the keepsake box of my daughter's. It is a card that she gave me that wished me luck or whatever. But this woman was like, do you want me to be with your parents when you tell them? And I was just like froze in silence because I'm done 5 months pregnant. Literally, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I went and told people at school I was pregnant. So, from a month of pregnancy to 5 months of pregnancy. So, for 4 months, I've been walking around talking like a pregnant woman fixing to have a baby. And these teachers have not even caught up on the information. Or they think it's just a lie or a hoax or whatever, and they never confront me and truthfully just ask me, hey, are you pregnant? Because me, the way I am, I would have been like, yeah, I am. But, so anyways, she asked me, and I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, you want me to be with your parents, or with you when you go to tell your parents? I was like, they already know. And she's like, oh, they do? And I was like, yeah, they've known for a while now, And she's like, oh, how did they take it? What did they say to you? Like expecting them to be very vicious, I reckon. And in a narcissistic family, the way that they be vicious and everything is the silent treatment. Like, and I've done lived through the silent treatment because I broke my arm in 6th grade or fractured my arm. I've done lived through the silent treatment because of other things that I've supposedly done that are not up to par and what the fuck ever. So, going through the silent treatment of anger, just festering up under their skin and everything, because I'm pregnant, ain't nothing new. And so, anyways, Lord God bless. I was just like, they don't know. And she's like, oh, they do? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, if you need anything, let me know. And I was like, no, I think I'll be good. Because that's the mentality that you're taught to have when you're a scapegoated child. It's like, you've got to learn to live off of bare minimum. And that's another thing, depression. You know, like, depression can be anybody. It can be the golden child, the scapegoat child. It really doesn't matter. But I'm speaking from a scapegoated child's perspective and everything. And it's just some weird shit, I guess you could say, like, to go through and everything. But oh God, I'm tired. And I'm not really tired. And I hate saying that. Even that. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I think it's not just because depression is like, the rate of it is just like through the roof. It's not decreasing, it's increasing more in society standards, and so is mental illness, or what is considered mental illness, and they consider depression mental illness, and I don't consider it mental illness. And then they're like, oh, so and so people have, mental health problems. The majority of people have mental health problems, and that's just like even me having a heart murmur. Oh, almost everybody in the world has a heart murmur nowadays. I've been told by several doctors. And then Chester Bennington's wife, if you've watched her talking, after his suicide and everything, she's like, we all have mental health. And I cannot agree with somebody even, like, I can't agree with somebody so much in all my freaking life, like, and I'm 30. Like, that woman, whenever she spoke that, we all have mental health. It's like, Lord Jesus, I love you. Like, you're gonna go to heaven. Like, you're so smart. Like, you are so intelligent in saying that. And granted, she might be saying it because she heard it from somebody else. But these are my kind of people, damn it. Like, they get it. Like, it's not like, oh, you're mentally ill and you're sick in your brain and this and that. And even though she does kind of say it is a sickness and stuff like that, we do all have mental health. And our mental health is affected from the day that we are brought into fucking existence. Whatever environment you were raised up in, whatever shit you go through, whatever type of family you have, whatever type of background you have, whatever type of school you go to, whatever type of teachers you have to deal with, whatever type of neighbors you grow up around, everything affects everything. And again, I cannot put any more emphasis on that. And like I said at the very beginning of my video, for the most part, the ripple effect. The ripple effect. But the biggest thing is most people only see the ripple effect as going one direction. They see, oh, the drop of water, and the ripples go out, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Imagine bringing those bigger and bigger and bigger things, and they get smaller and smaller and smaller until they come to the one thing that they originated from. So call it the backwards ripple effect. That is the way human beings, minds, and practically everything, but we're just going to stick to talking about the mind. That's the way our mind is. Let's say here you are, and there's 5 ripples. Okay? The biggest ripple is the world. Okay? The 4th, or whatever, is the state or country you live in. The next is the city. The next is your neighbors. And the next is your family. and in the center is you. All of this is going to affect your thinking, your mentality. Now, I'm not saying there's another thing too about Chester Bennington's wife. She said that she had people around her blaming her for his death. Okay, if that's the case, and if those people are correct, then those people need to blame me for Stephen Ducharme's death. Because this is a guy I went to school with. He told me he was going to kill himself. He still continued going to school for a few days after he said that. Then he told me he was moving away to his grandmother's. He moved away to his grandmother's, and I think it was 2 weeks later. So this is like a 3-week period, at least. But around that time, he ended up hanging himself. It's not just one thing that causes depression. It's not just one thing that affects mental health and development. It is everything. And if you've even watched the TED Talks, any of them, talking about suicide or talking about people being good and bad and just, like human stuff like that, like human emotions and everything, then you will understand. What was the one that I watched the other day? Shit, I can't even remember. I think it was something dealing with are humans evil or something. And it was this guy, this older gentleman, I remember. And he said that they took these college students and did a study on them and stuff. And they had the college students ended up having mental breakdowns because they were like, hey, you're going to be the bad guys and these are going to be the good guys. These are going to be the cops and you're going to be the criminals. And the boys signed up for it. They was like, yeah, okay, we'll be part of this experiment. And he said, but we didn't let them know that we was actually going to treat them like real criminals. And so they actually went, like, I don't know how many days later, and picked these boys up that are in college or whatever, like they would somebody that's actually being arrested. Cops there. Neighbors looking around, and being all judgmental and, oh God, what did they do? And they're getting arrested. And the turmoil that causes, and everything. And so the majority of the boys that was the inmates, I guess you'd say, that was the bad people, the prisoners, they ended up having mental breakdowns within a few days, I think he said, and this woman came to him and she stood up, against him and told him what he was doing was wrong, and so they ended the experiment. And he actually ended up marrying that woman, like, later on or whatever. And he's, like, like, looking back, he's like, I'm thankful that she came and stopped me, because we were pushing these kids, way past the point of, everything and stuff. And in that, like, in any type of the TED Talks and stuff like that, like I'm talking about, but in that one, he says something, I don't know how he words it or whatever, but he practically says the same thing that I'm saying, which is it's not just, like, if I were to commit suicide right now, and everybody was to go, it's her family that made her do it. Let's put the blame on her family. Or better yet, let's just put the blame on one family member. Let's put it on her dad. Say it's all his fault. No, it wouldn't be. Okay, well, what else was bothering her? Oh, well, she said she had some problems with some neighbors. And I've had problems with neighbors since I can fucking remember, in all honesty. So, oh, it's the neighbors. The neighbors pissed her off. That's why she committed suicide. No. Okay, it's the state she lived in. She said she wanted to move out of state, or city, it's the city and the state that she lived in. It's not just one thing. It is everything. It is everything. And so, anyways, if somebody does see this and they are battling depression, and if you've made it through the whole video, then you're a champ for it, because I guarantee you I ramble the fuck on. Like, I know I do. But, like, seriously, it's everything. And a lot more people need to understand that, and they need to understand the ripple effect and how far anything that you do, how far it goes. And that's the reason you need to try to make sure that what you do, what you put out in the world, is good, even if the rewards seem like they are not coming. And that's another thing too. Like I said, like I was really OCD there for a while when I was younger. And when I first had my kid, and I was so happy. Like I was like, yes, everything makes sense, because I thought, okay, he's going to get out of prison and we're going to be together and we're going to get married and I'm going to get my reward, I guess you'd say. I'm going to get my reward that I've busted my ass for, because I stayed faithful to him the whole time we were together. From the beginning of our relationship and everything, all through him being through prison for 2 fucking years. And I was like, I'm going to get the reward. The reward is marrying somebody that I want to marry. And then he got out, and he didn't even come and see me and our daughter for 2 weeks. And it's because he got high literally the day he got out. And he ended up cheating on me the day he got out. And I have to live with that for the rest of my life. And our child has to live with that for the rest of her life. And he has to live with that for the rest of his life. And the girl that did it and the friend that got him high, they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. Everybody that was involved or could have been involved, his parents, my parents could have went and picked him up from prison. They could have insisted on it. Even though they offered and he was like, no, I think I want my mom to come and get me. We could have insisted and been like, no, we're going to get you. I could have been the leader and been like, no, we're going to come and get you. I don't want your mom picking you up because I don't trust your mom to not get you high. You know, like, we could have done all that and we didn't. But the thing is I was tired. I ain't gonna lie, I was tired. So, like, literally the week before he got out, I was like, oh shit, he's fixing to get out. Oh shit, are we really fixing to get married? Oh shit, I'm kind of scared. Oh shit, he sent me a message, like, he wrote me a letter talking about how he was going to go about getting married and about all the work that he was going to do and he was going to put in. And I was like, maybe he actually means it this time, because he didn't put in the work and the effort at the beginning of our relationship. And I had to, and I stepped up, and I've been dutiful, I guess is the best way to word it. I was like, God, I've done my part. I've done my part. I gave myself permission to be lazy. And so literally the last week before he got out, I was like, I can just sit here and chill, and when he gets out, it's gonna be like smooth as gravy, you know, or cream or whatever. Like, it's just gonna be smooth. It ain't even gonna be bumpy. It's gonna be like cream, you know. It's just gonna flow, you know. It's gonna be smooth sailing from here on out for at least a few weeks, because I at least deserve a few weeks, like a month, of not having to put in any more hard work and effort. Yay. You know, I was like, yay, something good. I'm getting a reward for my good behavior. And even though I was getting rewards for my good behavior, just like with my kid, because hell, I raised her alone for the first year and a half of her life. And I would sit and teach her how to do something, and she learned how to do it. And then I got to see that she learned how to do it. I mean, my baby was walking when she was 10 months old. Like, because I was teaching her to walk, you know, like, her first word, and I am talking just perfect. 6 months old. Juice. Like, just juice. You know, and I was like, holy shit. It's 6 months. I mean, she'd said mama and dada, and she'd try to say doggy, you know, But I'm talking like perfect word came out. You could, like, anybody could have understood her, you know? Like, Mama was, like, especially when she'd get kind of irritated, she'd be like, Mama, 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 you know? God, it was so cute. Oh, I miss my baby being little. Mama, 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 Mama. Oh, God. Oh, I don't want to cry. But, I thought, yay, I'm not going to have to do the hard work anymore. And, like, I can put it kind of off on him because all he has to do is show up. That's all he's got to do is show up. And in all honesty, that's all he's had to do for ever. And he still yet never has done that. And so it's shit like that that depresses the fuck out of you. Because you're like, oh, hell no. I didn't put in all this work just to be slapped in the face, you know, by life, you know. And so you get up and you push past traumatic events, you know, because that's a traumatic event, even though it's not anything like there's no blood and guts and gore and beatings or bruises or anything like that. It's like emotional trauma. And that is an emotional trauma that I have to deal with, my kid has to deal with, her siblings have to deal with. And then their moms, whenever they find out about it, if they ever care to find out about it, they're going to have to deal with it. And then he has to deal with it. And his family has to deal with it. And my family has to deal with it. And that is the thing that everybody does to everybody, is they sit there and they cause emotional trauma and they don't even fucking get that they're, how big of a ripple effect they're sending out. It's just, it's completely and totally absurd. And that's the reason I'm like, EJ, please, for the love of God, because this girl that I'm in love with, if you're the first time watching this girl that I'm in love with, and I've never been with a girl, and that's scaring the shit out of me to a degree, and even though I know technically it's wrong, I'm like, hey, you gotta take the good with the bad, and if the bad sin in our relationship is that we're two females, well, we done know what it is, so now let's get on to the good of it. But holy shit, if you don't want to be with me, EJ, then you just gotta talk to me and tell me. But to come in my life and act like my friend and then just disappear, bloop, like off the radar, and then bloop, back on one night just to fucking piss me off or whatever, because she showed up at my job, and then bloop, back off again, like, are you a witch, EJ, and you're wanting me to commit suicide? Like, what's the deal? Like, seriously. And, like, I hate to even say that because I'm being kind of a smartass, but then I've kind of thought it a little bit. I'm like, holy shit, what have I got into, you know? Because it's just been another emotional trauma. And I'm trying to keep it from being one, and she's not. And I am. And that's just like my kid. I'm trying to keep that from being one. My parents took custody of my daughter almost a fucking year ago. I've done everything that I can up under the circumstances of everything. And it's everything. Like I said, the ripple effect. It's everything. I've done everything that I can. Right now, I'm doing everything that I can. And I'm gonna keep doing everything that I can, because that's what you do in life. You just keep pushing ahead. You keep going. You don't know why, but you just keep doing it. And it's like I still keep writing my daughter, you know, at least once a week, if not more, and be like, baby, I love you. Because that's all I can do, because I can't physically go see her and comfort her. I've tried to reset up visitation because I canceled it at first because I couldn't handle it emotionally. It was literally killing me on the inside to come home without my kid. Like, you're talking about somebody trying to murder somebody's soul, which is exactly what I feel like my family and the courts are trying to do to me. They're like, hey, you know, a valuable soul, let's kill it, let's smother it, you know, because nobody helping. And then even my counselor, if she just would have came, we went to court like 3 damn times, and she would not come to court to testify on my behalf. Like, it's going to come back on you that you did that. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, because I don't like being mean to people. I don't. I really don't. I like being nice to people. But this woman, just like I'm talking about the ripple effect and about karma, like, you've got to watch, you got to put stuff out there and everything. And even though I might be putting out more bad karma for myself saying it, I feel that I have to say it because I feel like I'm dealing with such ignorant other human beings, because I feel like there's nobody else out there that believes in the ripple effect and believes in karma and believes in the backwards ripple effect where everything, it comes back and it affects. And you not coming to court affected my child not being home. And it affected me hugely, and it's affected my child hugely, and it's even affected my family hugely. Lord, I don't know. But I'm going to end this video because it's coming up on an hour. YouTube won't let you shoot over an hour without deleting it or whatever, or not loading it or some shit, or I don't even know. But that's a little bit of my life. If you like my videos, if you like hearing me talk about stuff, and even though like I look at the camera and I act like I'm talking to a person like I just did for my counselor that I was going to and everything, it's that if they ever see it, if they ever even care to look at it, there's their messages and stuff. But I battle depression. I deal with it to the best of my ability. Eating oatmeal, I do think it kind of works. I've ate it over the past 2 mornings. I think it's kind of kept me in a better mood even today. Even though I don't want to chalk it up to that, I wish it wasn't that minuscule, that stupid, that whatever. But if it is and it works, then so be it, and I'll keep trying. And it's a good thing if you're battling depression for you to try. Even if it's just to try for the hell of it, because it's not that hard to eat oatmeal for 7 days in the morning, and see how it makes you feel mentally, I guess is the best way to word it. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. So if you like my videos, you can comment, you can share, you can like, you can subscribe. I've also told people that they can write me on my Facebook. So yeah, you can find me on there and write me and stuff if you want to, and we can talk and chit chat or whatever. And I don't do YouTube. Like, I'm not trying to get like famous or anything. I just do it for the hell of it. Like, it's like me vlogging about my life, and that way I kind of keep account of myself, and that way I kind of feel better. And it's something to do that's just kind of, even though it's not just for me, but it kind of is and stuff. So, yeah, I'll end it here. And like I said, comment, share, like, or subscribe. And I'll catch you later.